I know some of you have a hard time getting over Donald Trump, so maybe you can't get over Donald Trump. Maybe you're too scared to step out of line with Donald Trump. But do you really want to be in the party of inhumanity?
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. The mainstream media really wants the left to win the midterms, and they just spend day after day trying to convince people to leave the GOP.
I know some of you have a hard time getting over Donald Trump, so maybe you can't get over Donald Trump. Maybe you're too scared to step out of line with Donald Trump. But do you really want to be in the party of inhumanity?
And they'll just make up stories for their cause, all in order to demonize the Republican Party. CBS Washington correspondent Major Garrett has a new book out in which he employs speculative fiction in his nonfiction book to imagine election violence next year. And guess who the bad guys are in his story?
So to make it clear to everyone, this is speculative fiction. It's a nonfiction book that opens with a chapter of speculative fiction. We're imagining something that could happen. All right, Texas changed its laws after 2020, making already restrictive laws even more restrictive. And there are concerns, and they've manifested themselves in the March primary there, that voters of color might have more difficulty complying with those. So we paint a scenario where, also under Texas law, you can open carry, and poll observers, election watchers have been given more powers to move around and contest things. So there's an argument, and the argument escalates. And nobody knows how or why, but a gunshot goes off, and a voter dies. And Democrats looking at this nationally say, oh my God, this is now a death in a polling place. And this looks like an assault on democracy that is now riddled with blood on the floor, literally in a voting precinct. And they say, look, these tensions are so intense, we've reached our breaking point in terms of tolerance.
I didn't think the left had any tolerance, but maybe in a speculative fiction world. It's interesting that the networks like CBS can spend airtime on speculative fiction where GOP party members are killing Democrats, because all of the left-wing networks have refused to report on the very real politically motivated killing on Sunday of 18-year-old Kaylor Ellingson. He's a Republican, and he was killed by 41-year-old Shannon Brandt in North Dakota. Brandt admitted to police that the killing was a deliberate attack and that he had been motivated by Ellingson's political affiliation. Now, this happens just weeks after Biden calls MAGA Republicans a threat. Now, a review of news coverage shows that even by the end of Wednesday, not ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, CNN, or MSNBC gave the attack even 1 second of airtime, because it just doesn't fit their speculative fiction. Instead, they'll just repeat things that they want to turn true, like Democrats will win upcoming elections by touting their baby-killing desires.
When abortion is front and center and the issue that people are talking about, it has shown to be a motivating factor for Democrats, many women, and moderate Republicans.
The key issue for voters, abortion.
See the timeline. The Dobbs decision leaked. Remember, it leaked, and you see spiking a little bit. Then the Dobbs decision released. You see that dramatic increase in voter registration. Again, if you're a Democrat or if you're abortion rights supporters, that is heartwarming.
Sure, what could be more heartwarming to the left than championing abortion? I mean, they keep repeating that this is the issue that will distract voters from all of Biden's failures.
And you're just seeing voters who are unlikely really, paying attention and wanting to go out, and they see this as a referendum on abortion more so than on Biden, which was what was feared.
But when it registers low as an issue in the polls, well, they just ignore that.
I think it may surprise people. So Gallup has been asking this question for a while. What's the most important problem facing the country? You can name more than one. You'll see here, look, all the economic problems, inflation, gas prices, what have you, whatever the Americans say, total up to 37%. Now, that's on the top of the list compared to individual issues. You can see right here the government poor leadership at 20% in second place.
All right, wait, look there. So if the economy rated number one by 37% isn't hurting Democrats, then surely abortion at only 5% really can't be helping them that much, right?
And they see this as a referendum on abortion more so than on Biden.
In fact, the leftist media seems rather annoyed when they don't have the time to attack the GOP on abortion and are forced to discuss things like immigration instead.
But there's a timing question I have, Leanne. On, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, Lindsey Graham comes out with his 15-week abortion ban. And all of a sudden, the next day, Ron DeSantis gets that off the front page. I'm not saying they're connected, but boy, it seemed convenient timing. Peter, I've gotten a few people wondering if we're just getting played by DeSantis. He's pulling a Trump on us, right? We're sitting here. This is not the center of attention, but boy, he changed the subject and we all went to it.
Yeah, the border problem is now a plot by Republicans to distract from the effort of Democrats to champion baby killing. Talk about speculative fiction. But there's even more speculative fiction from MSNBC as they hate and rage against DeSantis for making people focus on Biden's border crisis.
The things that he does don't have like policy priorities. They definitely, to me, feel more like sort of 1960s era, whipping up a mob at the University of Mississippi because James Meredith was coming and then cheering it on as 4 people are killed in that mob, right? I mean, it does feel like he's that kind of retro politician.
Well, historically, if DeSantis is being the type of retro politician that would stir up deadly race riots and opposition to civil rights and desegregation, that would actually end up making him a Democrat. Perhaps Joy doesn't know her history, or perhaps she's just a proud purveyor of
Speculative fiction. We're imagining something that could happen.
Certainly. Why report facts? Those don't support the leftist agenda. I'm Eric Shiner from MRC-TV, asking you to support us by visiting the MRC Store and purchasing some great conservative gear. Also, check out MRC-TV for the latest in videos, entertainment, and information. Like, share, and subscribe to these videos on the platforms that let you see us. And we'll be back next week with another look at leftist media madness.